Hey guys, Edmund Pelgan here. I'm on a road trip today. I'm visiting a client in Brisbane, so it's about an hour and a half's drive. And I thought I'd have a chat to you today about the ways that you can most effectively use a digital marketing consultant. And when I mean a digital marketing consultant, I mean an expert in their specific area. It could be an SEO person, an analytics person, a web design person, or even a paid traffic expert. And the reason I'm talking about this today is because you can get a lot of bang for buck by using a consultant in a very tactical manner rather than having to engage a big agency on an ongoing campaign, right? The key challenge for a lot of businesses is to figure out what's wrong, what's not working for them. And rather than leap into another campaign or sign on to a big retainer with an agency, sometimes it pays to spend a little bit of money to figure out exactly what's not been working in the past. So I should preface my discussion about this by talking about the fact that there are different types of experts or consultants that you can bring in. You've got people who are experts in SEO and link building. You've got people who are experts with Google Analytics and Facebook Analytics and tracking. You've got people who are experts in web design and building out content. And you've got people who are experts in paid traffic. That's Google Ads and Facebook. So that's basically it. So as long as you understand that if you've got a specific area you need help with, you find the right consultant. So here are the ways that you can use a consultant to effectively help you in your business. So the first way that I've seen that has been happening more often than not is to use a digital marketing consultant to look at your Google Analytics configuration and to make sure that it's properly set up, it's properly tracking everything, and then to spend some time looking at the analytics with you to figure out, okay, is it working correctly, and to give you some insight into what the data says. The reality is a lot of clients will set up analytics and it's one of those things that's got a checkbox next to a new website build or anything like that. They put in analytics and no one ever looks at it. But the reality is there's so much value to be had from having complete analytics running. So that's the first thing, get someone to look at your analytics. I've seen 2 analytics installations in the last week where Google Analytics was only tracking a few pages on the website. So basically the home page and a few other pages were not being tracked at all. So all of the visitor data that client had was non-existent. It's no good. So get someone to look at your Google Analytics. Now, the second way that you can use a consultant is to look at your link building, your SEO. So what this means is they can look at your site, they can look at how well optimized the pages are, they can look at how fast the pages load, they can look at the links that you've acquired to help your rankings, and specifically they can look at how well your site is currently performing in organic search in Google, right? What pages are ranking? What keyword phrases are you ranking for? Which pages are generating the most traffic to your website, and which pages and keywords are generating the most sales? So that's a really important thing that you can use a consultant for. It's really important because I've often seen companies who've engaged an SEO agency to do SEO work for them, and they've gone a year into the campaign, and I'll turn up and have a look and I'll say, well, it doesn't seem like the basics have been done. Nothing's been done. So it's an opportunity for you to get someone in, pay them for a couple of hours and get them to look at your SEO, and they'll tell you, hey, your current SEO agency is doing the right thing, they've been doing this, and this is where you currently rank and how you're performing. So that's the second way that you can use a digital marketing consultant, is to look at your SEO and assess how well it's doing, and to give some insight into maybe how well your current provider is doing. Right, the third thing you can do, you can use a consultant for, is to look at your website to see how well it's doing its job in attracting and converting potential customers into customers, right? And what I mean by this is they'll look at your website with fresh eyes, with a marketer's view or perspective on it, to see whether does your website target a specific audience? Is the website copy written in a way that appeals to that target customer? Do your pages have enough content there to answer prospects' questions? Do your pages have the right calls to action to encourage a visitor to become a customer or to sign up onto your list? right? Those are real opportunities, because the issue is a lot of people will go to a web designer, their local web designer or the cousin's son down the road, and get a site built, and all they'll think about is, how do I get this site up for the cheapest price possible? And they don't think that it's about generating business for them. And so they'll go ahead and just copy an existing design from someone who had a site built a couple of years ago, or they'll just, use the default generic template that comes with their WordPress theme. And what you end up is with a website that you go ahead and fill in the boxes, and you put a bit of copy there because the design said, hey, I need a bit of copy here, and you put a picture here, and it doesn't do its job of attracting and targeting and helping convert a specific customer for your business. So that's a really powerful thing to do. Have someone come in and analyze your site with fresh eyes from a marketer's perspective to make sure that this site is a great platform to help you sell more online. Right, now the next way, how else? The next way you can use a digital marketing consultant to help you out is to look at your paid traffic campaigns. Not all paid traffic experts are created equal. The reality is some of the people that you use to run paid ads for you have had massive amounts of experience on really large campaigns. And spending a lot of money on large campaigns and having to optimize those campaigns is really educational. And they get an opportunity to test and measure what works, and they get an opportunity to see what current strategies are working. So if you can find an expert and say, hey, I'll pay you $700 for a couple of hours of your time to look at my campaigns and tell me what you think, you can get massive value. And sometimes they'll come straight out and say, look, your keyword bidding strategy is all wrong, your targeting is all wrong. Here are a number of different ways that you can change your campaign and get a better result at a lower cost. So that's a really great way of doing it. And I'm not a paid traffic expert. I mean, I can get around and I can do the basics, but when it comes to high volume campaigns, you need to get an expert in. So if you're running a campaign and it's not doing very well, maybe it's time for you to bring in an expert and get them to look at your campaigns with a fresh eye and give you some insight into how to improve or optimize that campaign. All right, so the next way, how else can a digital marketing consultant be used to help your business? I think that there are real opportunities for people, content creators, marketing consultants who are really good at writing and creating valuable content to look at your website, look at your content strategy, give you insight into how effectively your content is performing. Because the reality is a lot of times businesses will just produce blog content because they've been told to, or they think that that's what you're supposed to do, without a thought as to how this content is going to fit into my broader digital marketing strategy, how it's going to attract customers, how it's going to help educate and convert customers. And so a good content specialist can look at your current content strategy and analyze what's doing well and what's not doing well, and whether you're wasting time and money doing a specific content strategy. I've seen big companies outsource content creation to these larger content agencies, and these guys would charge $400 or $500 for a generic bullshit blog post that would sit on the website and do nothing. The old 500 words with a featured image type post. And that if it's a part of your strategy and it's working, then great. But the reality is a lot of times people create content because they think that that's what they're supposed to do without understanding how it's supposed to help. So rather than you spending more money, rather than you spending more time creating content, why don't you spend a little bit of money and get an expert in to analyze your content strategy and give you some insight into how they think it can do better. And that's it. That's a really quick summary of how you can use various digital marketing consultants to help your business. And I say this is a really valuable approach because most consultants are open for you to come in and purchase a block of time with them. I mean, I do it. When I work with clients, I get them to come in and say, well, here's an opportunity for you to buy 5 hours of my time, and we will sit down and we'll talk about anything that you need help with. Or I'll look at your business with my professional opinion and my professional eyes and experience, and I will say, you've got issues here, here, and here, and you need to address this and this and this before you spend any more money on marketing. And that has massive value because that company then doesn't end up spending thousands of dollars on a year-long SEO campaign or paid traffic campaign when their analytics may not be in place, when their site may be loading slowly, when their content might be poor, right? It's a really good opportunity to fix things up before you implement a broader strategy. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you got some value out of that. And I just thought it was a very valuable thing to talk about, given that I've spent 4 or 5 hours this week doing exactly that, talking with clients who just wanted to spend some time looking at their business and helping identify what's broken and what needs to be fixed up. Hope that was helpful. If you like this video, I'd appreciate a share or a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next one.